perfect. See, I be having to tell people all of that shit. He did that perfect. But Haze was the thing when you was 14, 13, right?
Mm-hmm.
Boogie, where we get the whole name from? Like, how do we come against Haze Boogie?
At the time, that's when Haze was popping. The weed Haze was popping.
Right.
And we thought that was the shit. Like, you know what I mean? So,
and he was like, I would just name myself the weed.
You know what I mean? So, I mean...
Why not niggas out here named Chronic?
Like I ain't gonna say it in front. I ain't gonna say it in front and make up a whole story like, I used to sit here and smoke
sometimes
Haze
it be like that.
All my life, you know what I'm saying? Then I thought about like, I should be called Haze. No, it was just, Haze was the popular strain at the time. And we smoked, and I thought about it like, I like that joint. Like, and
Haze. Boogie was just something to add to it.
And then Boogie was just something to just add it. I don't know where
I
that
get
came
down.
from. I don't know where that came from. But Boogie just, I don't know where that shit come from. Cool.
Just like he said, niggas he get down. Real shit.
That's fly. I was so stuck on the Haze, bro, because I was in college when Purple hit, right? And I had a Bronx homie that she used to sell 15s of them joints, and she give me for a dime. You know what I'm saying? So I grabbed 2-3 of them joints, and I would smoke 3 L's a day of it in between class, before and after class. I had a whole little rotation because it was expensive for me.
Yeah.
Man, one night I smoked that shit, called my best friend and told him, man, I fuck with y'all, but I love Haze, yo. Y'all my niggas still, but Haze is my motherfucking boo. I was tripping
at the time
over weed.
At the time it was Haze and Sour Diesel.
Yep. Diesel
and
came
Hydro.
Yeah, Dro.
And,
I miss Dro actually.
Kush, Arizona.
Zone was around.
No, Zone.
But Zone was heavy at that time when Haze was out, because my young boy was making a killing off Zone on campus. No bullshit. No, it is mid. But the thing is, like, niggas had just came from smoking Reggie. Like, Reggie and Conbud and Dro. You know what I'm saying? If you was lucky, you had the Con or the Dro and some shit like that. And it was hard to come across dimes and Dro. You get a dime of Dro, you need some Reggie.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, it was different back then. But an ounce was $4.50. Once you got above mid grade, it was like, wow. Nowadays, you get an ounce of that shit for what you paid for an ounce of Zona.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? Right. Like, it's different now. So now everybody talking heavy. Niggas wasn't smoking like that, bro.
But at the time,
yeah. What you want, the mic?
Nah, I don't. But do you think at that point the weed always was as cheap as it was now? Old heads was just coming up off of us like same shit was like 500 an ounce for that loud.
Everything is based on supply and demand. Everything based on supply and demand. When shit becomes more common, more people start growing, distributing, numbers drop. It happens with every drug.
Gotcha.
Every drug is designer when it first comes out.
Like,
you see what I'm saying? E was exclusive at one point, and then Molly was exclusive. And then niggas was sick of Molly in the hood. You know what I'm saying? Like, just like Coke at one point. You had to be somebody, had some bread to be playing with your nose. You know what I mean? Like, that was a thing. Like, all of that stuff, just the market becomes the market, and then whatever, if it's in the hood for 10, it's in the county for 40. But the time is the same too. You get quadruple the time if your license don't add up to the county and you out there selling drugs. Just a little FYI for what I've noticed through my travels.
That shit's still not federally legal yet.
And that's the bullshit, because any state that don't fuck with it could say that you transporting.
You can have a marijuana license, right?
Mm-hmm.
And be prescribed marijuana.
Mm-hmm.
And be on federal probation.
Mm-hmm.
And they still can deny that shit.
Mm-hmm.
Just because it's not federally legal.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
But you can be prescribed Xannies, Percocets, and all that shit.
Yep. Many as you want.
You know what I'm saying?
They act like they controlling them.
Crazy.
There's too many loopholes. But it's crazy because, like, I mean, it was the story about the little girl who had the seizures. She was having like 20, 30 seizures a day or some shit. So her parents moved her to Denver so that she can get the treatment that she needed, right? So, because she needed CBD or THC treatment. I think it was CBD. And it had cut the seizures down 2 to 5 a day, like drastically cut them, and they was like minor as opposed to as bad as they were. And I used to have seizures, so this always stuck out to me.
She was fucking with the RSO shit. Rick Stevens on you?
I think so. I think so.
Talking about.
And then she wanted her parents. Her dad couldn't stay out there because he couldn't find a job out there. He had to move back home, right? But then, like, for the holidays, they couldn't take her home because if she had a medical emergency and they took her to the hospital and they found out that she had CBD in her system, they would arrest the parents. That's how crazy that shit is, yo.
Deep.
You see what I'm saying? Like, bad enough she had to move halfway across the country to get treatment.
The divided states of America.
The divided states of America, bro. Real rap. But, like, stuff like that be like, wow, yo.
But listen, for niggas that's on federal probation, they tell you that you're not allowed to smoke marijuana because it's not federally legal.
Mm-hmm.
But tell them to put you in front of a judge if you have your marijuana card.
Mm-hmm.
They can't refuse that joint.
Mm-hmm.
It's still prescribed by a doctor.
Medical,
you know what I'm saying?
it's still a medical order.
What happened was I kept popping up like hot for weed. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So my PO pulled me in the office and shit, and with a supervisor, and I already had a marijuana license,
Mm-hmm.
but they told me when I first caught my shit, like, you know what I mean, like, it don't matter because it's federal and all that. So I never got it renewed and shit. You feel what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So long story shorter, you know what I'm saying, I got them to write the judge a letter stating that I got that shit. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And that I have anxiety and PTSD.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? And that I need my marijuana and shit.
Absolutely.
You feel what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So he usually writes off on that shit. That's what they told me. He slipped up and told me that shit. But he wrote off a couple other motherfuckers already.
Mm-hmm.
The old head that I know and shit, he wrote off and shit. But long story short, you know what I'm saying? Don't let them motherfuckers tell you you can't smoke your marijuana if you got a marijuana license and shit.
Yeah, that's solid advice. I fuck with that.
No, real shit, cool.
You know what's funny though? And that's why motherfuckers don't be getting favors. We all know each other. So when one motherfucker get away with something, he tell niggas. And then that shit come back and somebody
it's
be
a
like,
loophole. Like it's a loophole.
no, not talking about that, but you know how you just said, I know other motherfuckers he signed off on. He ain't tell you that.
Mm-hmm.
You see what I'm saying? So now, if you was a nutball, you'd be like, but Tom and them already did, you ain't one of them. You know what I mean? But it's a nigga that always do that. And that be the reason nobody else get a lookout. You know what I mean? Like, it's somebody that fucks it up at that point right there, where he tell you no, and you buck.
Mm-hmm.
You see what I'm saying? Instead, you did the smarter thing and just went through the process. But, like, a lot of people fuck it up for everybody else when that happened, bro. It's damn near like telling because niggas need that advantage or that angle. You know what I mean? Like when a cop tell you, yo, I'm gonna just throw this weed down the sewer, go ahead. One nigga tell on him for that shit, he ain't doing it no more, bro. He not doing it no more. He tripping now. He gonna do the paperwork now. That's interesting. I ain't know that. Because I heard that it didn't count.
What?
I heard that federally, since it didn't count, it wouldn't matter. I heard that. I didn't know that.
They tell you that, but
Somebody said it depend on your PO.
it depends on your PO.
Always though, right?
Always, but at the same time, like I said, they take it in front of a judge. Also, it depends on the judge too. But the judge really can't say nothing
Because it's medically prescribed. It make all the sense in the world.
You know what I'm saying?
Like that should make all the sense in the world.
And then at the same time, we talking Philadelphia. You know what I'm saying?
Commonwealth.
They're not sending nobody to no rehab, taking up no space for no marijuana.
Which would be the other option.
You know what I'm saying?
The other sensible option.
Yeah. Which they told me. If the judge deny it, then I gotta go to a halfway house and all that dumbass shit.
But that's dumb if
I'm
I'm
not
smoking
doing all
weed
that.
for anxiety and PTSD. Rehab is not gonna help that.
Even still, you